Hello, my name is Kim, and today I would like to tell you about my mom, Carol. Her life changed on Father's Day, June 2011. Prior to that day, my mom was a school secretary for over 25 years. She's married to my dad for over 40 years. She has 2 daughters and 5 wonderful grandchildren. My mom loves to go shopping and go out to dinner with her friends. She loves to cook and to entertain. She loves to babysit her grandkids and to read romance novels. Now, back to that day in June 2011. My mom had a stroke. She was only 61 years old. My dad and I took her to the hospital that morning, and thus began a long journey through medical marvels and miracles. An MRI at the hospital showed that my mom had bleeding on the brain. The neurologist said that my mom was in serious danger if the bleed did not stop. My mom was on a blood thinner for a stent in her heart, so her blood would not clot. Later that evening, a nurse came and found myself, my dad, and my sister in the waiting room and told us that they had just taken my mom into surgery. The nurse took us to the hallway to see my mom one final time. We kissed her, we told her we loved her, and we weren't sure that we were ever going to see her again. She was in the operating room for several hours. The neurosurgeon and her team removed a section of my mom's skull. It relieved the pressure on her brain and allowed the blood to drain from the area around her brain. The next morning, my mom was alert and she was singing. She recognized us, but yet she really didn't know who we were. The words came out, but they didn't make much sense. She couldn't move the limbs on her right side, but she was alive, right there in front of us. A complete miracle. By the end of the week, she was moved to a rehabilitation center. She was fitted with a helmet so that her brain would be covered and safe from damage. It was now that we truly learned the impact of the stroke had on my mom. She had forgotten so much. Her letters and numbers, how to brush her hair, how to read, and even how to make toast. She was unable to look at a picture of a dog and say the word dog, and she didn't know the difference between a fork and a spoon. For the next 6 weeks, therapists of all sorts helped my mom to relearn what she had forgotten. Here we saw many more medical marvels. The therapists were well trained in areas such as speech, physical, occupational, and cognitive. There was a kitchen there to teach her the basics of eating and cooking, flashcards and other tools to teach her words, and stairs and balls and other devices to bring back the mobility on the right side of her body. Since then, my mom has regained all movement on her right side. She's on medication for seizures, and she will be for the rest of her life. She usually gets her names correct. For the most part, she can get the words out that she wants to, but then in other instances it turns into a guessing game. The therapy has continued, and we have found applications on a computer to help her relearn numbers, letters, and word recognition. But she will never ever again be able to read a romance novel. Nobody really understands how the brain fully works. Why did my mom have a stroke? Why was she able to regain the use of her right side while other stroke victims end up paralyzed for life? Why did she lose all memory of letters and numbers, but she's still able to write her full name in cursive? Why do some words not come out even when she wants them to? What happened to her short-term memory? How do you reteach the brain to connect point A to point B? There are so many unanswered questions, and only further research will bring new technologies, medical techniques, and therapies to help those who have had strokes to get their lives back, and who knows, maybe even stop strokes altogether. Well, I've already witnessed one miracle. Let me introduce you to my mom. Let's put our brains together to cure brain